Here is this moment, GBP out 2 minutes 500, up, up. What immediately catches my eye? What specifically catches my eye is this buyback, which happened very strongly, around 70%. It didn't just happen, it happened.
A link to all the information is on the YouTube profile.
From this stop, where the seller should pick up the movement according to the trend. But what do we see? The candle closes in this place, again an attempt by the seller to go down. And in the end, the seller is not allowed to go down. Buyers buy back this movement, take the candle in their favor, and as a bonus, they deliver a good full-bodied one. That is, a strong seller did not appear in this place. The buyer has become a competitor to him. Now it's moving on a good full-bodied candle with almost 5 minutes left until it closes. The volume has already matched the buyer with the previous one. There is no loss of strength, right? The seller is also not increasing for now, and in the cluster we have a zone of interest that is pushing above. There is still support from the volume below. Well, the support from below is already a little less. There are a ton of facts regarding these indicators, right? Suggesting that the movement will continue, specifically that there will most likely be an attempt to break through these highs. But I'm taking 2 minutes. I'm taking 2 minutes because from this price, there was a sharp movement downwards. That is, theoretically, they might still pull back from here. 2 minutes are taken purely to manage to capture the movement up to this previous high. Wow, how it spins in place. Wow, logically speaking, look, the main thing now is not to miss the opening of the catch-up if it doesn't give it to me, since we basically haven't moved from the spot in 2 minutes. Okay, 3 seconds. I want to use the catch-up here. Second, we had a standard trend that made this low. Everything was fine. We were following the trend, updating the lows, but something went wrong. The buyer issued a correction after creating the low. Then the seller attempts in this situation to go for a new low again. A buyer appears and look how much time has passed. These are 15-minute candles, right? We are moving upwards. That is, we are already comparing with the previous highs of this trend where the seller does not appear and we move further, right? So why is this happening? Currently, the buyer is predominant at the moment. For a breakdown to occur, we must accordingly consolidate over all this. And the next nearest stop where a seller might appear is right here. Here we had a small accumulation and we were not allowed to move upward. From here, sellers injected some volume and we moved lower. And from this point, there was also a buyback, which showed that the seller in this area, but he is not that strong. And we are heading back here again, trying to test and break through it. So according to the logic of movement, the movement upwards can also potentially pass. So 2 seconds remain until the end. Well, I wouldn't say it's a significant movement, but nevertheless, well, 13 points. All right, not a single point on the man. The upward movement did happen and it will most likely continue trying to go higher overall.